Hey garden fixers, welcome back to Daily Garden Fix, where we prove that creating a beautiful outdoor sanctuary doesn't require a trust fund, just creativity, intention, and a trip to Dollar Tree. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to share 20 of my favorite budget garden decor ideas for 2026. And I mean it when I say these are game changers. Every single project costs just a few dollars, takes minimal time, and creates that peaceful, mindful space we're all craving on our patios and porches. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Dollar Tree for garden decor? But trust me, once you see what we can do with simple materials like river stones, jute rope, terracotta, and a little imagination, you'll never walk past those aisles the same way again. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's dive into 20 easy, beautiful, and budget-friendly ways to transform your outdoor space into the serene retreat you deserve. Before we jump into the projects, I want to talk about the philosophy behind today's ideas. When I think about garden decor, I'm not chasing perfection or trying to recreate some glossy magazine spread. What I'm after is texture, warmth, and that grounded feeling you get when you're surrounded by natural materials. Think about it. Smooth river stones, rough-hewn wood, the soft give of moss under your fingers, the earthy scent of terracotta. These are the elements that make a space feel alive and calming. And the beautiful thing about Dollar Tree is that they carry so many raw materials that we can transform into something really special. The other thing I love about these projects is how they slow us down. In a world that's constantly rushing, taking an hour on a Saturday afternoon to wrap rope around a planter or arrange stones in a tray, that's meditation. That's self-care. That's creating beauty with your own two hands. All right, let's get into the 20 ideas. I'm going to walk you through each one with enough detail that you can recreate them this weekend. Idea 1. Stone drainage. Trays for potted plants. Let's start simple but effective. Head to Dollar Tree and grab their galvanized metal trays, the ones usually in the craft or organization section. Pick up a bag or two of their decorative river stones or pebbles. Here's what you're going to do. Place your potted plants on these trays and surround the base with the stones. This serves two purposes. First, it catches any drainage water without creating a mess on your porch. Second, it adds this gorgeous natural texture that makes even the most basic plastic pot look intentional and styled. The stones also help with humidity for your plants, which is a nice bonus. As the water evaporates from the tray, it creates a little microclimate. And visually, it's that layered designer look that says you put thought into your space. Total cost, $2 to $3 per tray setup. Idea 2. Rustic wooden lantern planters. This one's a bit more involved, but so worth it. Dollar Tree sells these unfinished wooden pieces. Sometimes they're small crates, sometimes decorative frames. What we're going to do is create a lantern-style planter. Grab 4 small wooden frames or strips. You can use wood glue or a hot glue gun to create a box shape, leaving the top open. If you want to get fancy, sand the edges a bit for that weathered look. You can stain it with leftover fence stain or even strong tea for a rustic finish. Place a small plastic pot inside, Dollar Tree has those too, and fill it with trailing plants. Pothos, string of pearls, or even herbs like rosemary work beautifully. The wood frame gives it this farmhouse meets Zen garden vibe that's incredibly popular right now. And when your friends ask where you got it, they'll never believe you made it for under $5. These look stunning, grouped in threes on a porch step or hanging from shepherd's hooks. Idea 3. Hanging herb pouches. If you're working with limited space, vertical gardening is your best friend. Dollar Tree sells these natural jute bags. Sometimes they're in the gift wrap section, sometimes with the burlap and craft supplies. Here's the project. Fill the bags with potting soil and plant your herbs directly in them. Basil, cilantro, parsley, thyme, whatever you cook with. Fold the top of the bag down once or twice to create a cuff, and use S-hooks to hang them from a rod, gutter, or even a tension curtain rod mounted on your porch. What I love about this is how it brings the kitchen garden right to your door. You can literally snip fresh herbs while you're cooking. Plus, the jute gives you that organic, earthy texture, and the whole setup costs maybe $6 to $8 for 3 or 4 herb pouches. Pro tip: poke a few small drainage holes in the bottom of the bags, or layer some pebbles before adding soil to prevent waterlogging. Idea 4. 4 stone garden marker stakes. Let's talk about garden markers, because those cute wooden or slate ones at garden centers are $15 to $20 each. Here's how we're doing it for $1. Grab Dollar Tree's foam boards, the kind kids use for school projects. Cut them into stake shapes, maybe 6 inches tall. Now, here's where the magic happens. Get their grey and white craft paint. Using a sea sponge or even a crumpled plastic bag, dab the paint on to create a mottled, stone-like texture. Layer light grey, darker grey, maybe a touch of tan. Once dry, use a permanent marker or paint pen to write your plant names. Attach these to wooden skewers or thin dowels with hot glue, and you've got garden markers that look like natural stone but won't crack, fade, or break your budget. I've had mine out through rain and sun for 2 seasons, and they still look great. And if you want to get really creative, you can shape the tops into hearts, circles, or arrows. Idea 5. Mossy candle jars. Ambiance is everything for an outdoor space, and this project creates the most magical evening glow. You'll need glass jars or hurricanes from Dollar Tree. They usually have clear ones year-round. You'll also need their preserved moss, which comes in small bags. Take your moss and wrap it around the outside of the jar, securing it with thin floral wire or hot glue. You want it to look organic and slightly wild, not perfectly uniform. Leave the top rim clear so you can still place a tea light or LED candle inside safely. When you light these at dusk and place them along your porch railing or scattered on a table, they create this enchanted forest feeling. The moss diffuses the light beautifully, casting soft shadows and just transforming the whole atmosphere. These also make gorgeous gifts. I've made dozens for friends, and they always ask how I created something so beautiful. $3 per jar, and they last for years. Idea 6. Upcycled. Crate shelf for succulents. Dollar Tree's wooden crates are a staple in my garden decor toolkit. For this project, you're going to stack 2 or 3 crates to create a tiered shelf effect, specifically for succulents and small potted plants. You can leave them natural, stain them, or paint them. I love a soft sage green or weathered grey. Stack them either vertically for height or in an offset pattern for more visual interest. You don't even need to attach them permanently. Gravity does the work. Fill each shelf level with small terracotta pots of succulents. The combination of the wood texture and the geometric shapes of succulents is just visually stunning. And because succulents are so low maintenance, this becomes a statement piece that basically takes care of itself. This also works beautifully as a corner focal point on a patio or beside your front door. Total investment: $5 to $7 if you're buying everything new. Idea 7. Bamboo wind chimes. There's something about the gentle sound of wind chimes that instantly creates that peaceful, meditative atmosphere. And we're making ours from bamboo stakes. Dollar Tree carries bamboo garden stakes in packs. Cut them into varying lengths, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. You'll need about 8 to 10 pieces. Sand the end smooth. Now get some jute twine or natural hemp rope, also from Dollar Tree. Create a simple wooden or metal ring at the top for support. You can even use an embroidery hoop. Tie each bamboo piece to the ring at different lengths so they'll knock against each other in the breeze. The key is variety in length and spacing. The sound is softer and more organic than metal chimes. It's that gentle clacking sound that just melts away stress. Hang it from a porch beam or shepherd's hook, and every time the wind picks up, you'll smile. cost about $2, and it adds so much sensory richness to your outdoor space. Idea 8. Terracotta Tower Planter. This is one of my all-time favorite projects because it looks so impressive but is genuinely simple. You'll need several terracotta pots in graduating sizes. $. Tree usually has the 4-inch and 6-inch sizes. You'll also need a piece of rebar or a sturdy wooden dowel. Push the rebar into the ground or into a large pot filled with soil. Thread your terracotta pots onto the rebar, stacking them at angles so each one offsets the one below it. You're creating this spiraling tower effect. Fill each pot with soil and plant trailing flowers, herbs, or even strawberries. As everything grows, you get this incredible cascading tower of greenery and blooms. It's a stunning vertical garden that takes up hardly any floor space. I've seen people plant one with all herbs, creating a kitchen garden tower. Others do all flowers for pure visual impact. Either way, it's a showstopper that costs under $10 to create. Idea 9. Pebble Mosaic Stepping Stones. Let's talk about adding art to your garden path. Dollar Tree has these shallow plastic trays or plates that we're going to use as molds. You'll also need their bags of decorative pebbles and some quick-setting concrete mix from any hardware store, usually about $3 to $4. Mix your concrete according to directions and pour it into your mold about 1 inch thick. While it's still wet but starting to set, usually after about 10 minutes, press your pebbles into the surface in whatever pattern speaks to you. Spirals, flowers, geometric designs, or just random beauty. Let it cure for at least 24 hours, then pop it out of the mold. You now have a custom stepping stone that looks like something from a high-end garden catalog. Make several and create a path through your garden beds or across your lawn to the patio. Each stone costs maybe $2 to $3, including materials, compared to $15 to $30 at stores. And yours are custom, one-of-a-kind pieces. Idea 10. Farmhouse Rope Planters. This is such a simple transformation that creates that expensive farmhouse aesthetic everyone loves. Get Dollar Tree's thick, natural rope. They usually have it in the craft section. You'll also need basic plastic pots. Starting at the bottom of the pot, apply hot glue in a spiral and wrap the rope tightly around the pot, working your way up to the rim. Keep the rope snug against itself so there are no gaps. When you reach the top, secure the end with extra glue and tuck it under. What you end up with looks like those $80 rope planters from boutique garden shops. The texture is incredible. The natural color works with everything, and it instantly elevates even the cheapest plastic pot. I've made probably 30 of these in all different sizes. Group 3 together in varying heights with coordinating plants, and you've got a designer vignette for under $12 total. Idea 11. Solar Light Lantern Upgrade. Dollar Tree carries basic solar lights and also these metal or wood lanterns. We're combining them for an upgraded look. Take the solar light stake and remove the top light portion. Most twist or pop off easily. Place the light mechanism inside the lantern. You can set it right on the bottom or suspend it with thin wire to hang in the center. If your lantern has glass or clear panels, the light will shine through beautifully. If it's solid, it'll glow from the top opening. For extra visual interest, paint or distress the lantern first. A coat of chalk paint in sage green or weathered white, then light sanding for a vintage look, makes these look like expensive outdoor decor. Set them along your walkway, on porch steps, or hanging from hooks. They charge during the day and automatically create ambiance at night. $4 per lantern setup, and the impact is remarkable. Idea 12. Mini Water Feature Bowl. The sound of trickling water is one of the most calming additions to any outdoor space. Here's how we're doing it on a Dollar Tree budget. Get a medium-sized plastic or ceramic bowl, something that holds about a gallon of water. Grab a bag of river stones. Now, you will need to invest in one thing, a small fountain pump, which runs about $10 to $15 online. Place the pump in the bottom of the bowl, cover it with your river stones to hide it, and fill with water. Plug it in. Most run on standard outdoor electricity or USB power, and you've got a bubbling water feature. The sound is incredibly soothing, and it becomes a focal point that makes your patio feel like a spa retreat. This is honestly one of the best investments I've made for our outdoor space. The sound alone drops my stress level instantly. Ideas 13 and 15. Quick styling touches. Let me rapid fire 3 quick styling ideas that add polish for minimal effort. Idea 13. Take Dollar Tree's metal garden tags, spray paint them in matte black or copper, and use alphabet stamps or a paint pen to add inspirational words or plant names. Push them into pots for designer-style plant stakes. Idea 14. Create a fairy garden centerpiece using a shallow tray, moss, tiny figurines, and small rocks. This becomes a whimsical focal point for a patio table and sparks joy every time you see it. Idea 15. Use faux wood slice coasters. Dollar Tree has sets of 4 as elevated platforms under small pots. It adds dimension and that natural wood element without the expense of real wood rounds. Each of these costs $2 or less and adds thoughtful detail to your space. Ideas 16-18. Hanging and vertical elements. Idea 16. Wrap Dollar Tree's hanging baskets with jute fabric or burlap ribbon. The soft, earthy texture is perfect for ferns or trailing plants and gives you that expensive botanical garden look. Idea 17. Make watering globes using their glass vases or bottles. Fill with water, add glass gems for color and weight, and invert into plant soil. It's functional art that keeps plants watered and looks beautiful doing it. Idea 18. Create macrame-style plant hangers using thick cotton rope. Even if you've never tried macrame, basic square knots are incredibly simple to learn, and 3 or 4 knots are all you need for a functional hanger. There are countless free tutorials online, and the rope costs $2 for enough to make 2 or 3 hangers. Ideas 19-20. Organization and welcome idea. 19. Transform plastic bins or caddies into garden tool organizers. Label them with chalkboard paint and keep your hand tools, gloves, and supplies tidy and accessible. This is one of those projects that doesn't seem exciting, but genuinely improves your gardening experience. No more hunting for your pruners. Idea 20. Create a porch welcome planter sign. Use Dollar Tree's small chalkboards or wooden plaques. Attach faux vines or real trailing plants and write a greeting. Welcome, grow, or gather. Whatever speaks to you. Mount it near your front door or lean it against a large planter. It's that finishing touch that makes your entrance feel intentional and inviting. So there you have it. 20 completely doable, budget-friendly ways to transform your patio or porch into that peaceful retreat you've been dreaming about. What I want you to hear is this. You don't need hundreds of dollars or professional skills to create a beautiful outdoor space. What you need is creativity, a willingness to see potential in simple materials, and maybe a Saturday afternoon. The other thing these projects give you? Time spent creating with your hands, which is its own form of therapy. In our screen-filled rush lives, the act of wrapping rope around a planter or arranging stones in a pattern slows us down in the best possible way. And when you're finished, you're not just left with a decorated porch. You're left with a space that genuinely feels different. More peaceful, more grounded, more you. That's the magic of mindful gardening and intentional decor. I would love to know which of these 20 ideas resonated with you most. Are you inspired to try the terracotta tower, the mossy candle jars, maybe all 20? Drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one, and your ideas often inspire future videos. If you're new to Daily Garden Fix, welcome. Hit that subscribe button because we've got so much more coming in 2026. More budget DIYs, indoor gardening secrets, mindful living tips, and simple transformations that prove beautiful spaces are accessible to everyone. And to my returning garden fixers, thank you for being here, for creating alongside me, and for building this community of people who believe in the power of nature, creativity, and a well-lived life. Until next time, keep nurturing your space. Let your space nurture you. And remember, the best gardens are grown on purpose, not by accident. This is Daily Garden Fix, signing off. Happy creating, friends.